Newsmaker Sunday with Fox 10's John Hook.
It is the agency that touches all of our lives. It's not DHS, ADOT is everywhere in our life. And we're going to talk about how we move people around. We're going to talk about wrong-way drivers, dust storms, signage, automated cars. We're going to talk about all of this stuff with John Halikowski. He was appointed the head of ADOT in 2009 by Jane Hall. Governor Brewer, pardon me. That would go back too far.
Right.
Governor Brewer, and then Governor Ducey.
That's correct.
Re-signed you.
Yes, he did.
After a pretty lengthy interview process.
That's
right?
correct.
Good to have you on the program.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Apologies to Jane Hull. I almost dragged her in here inadvertently.
She was actually Speaker when I was an intern.
Right,
so
Speaker of the House.
That's right.
The Iron Lady.
That's right.
Thank you, John, for being here. I want to talk about, let's roll tape number 2. Let's talk about the issue that everyone's talking about right now. A wrong-way driver. This is the guy who entered at Sky Harbor.
That's right.
I mean, it's pretty clearly marked. I guess at Sky Harbor there are a couple of places where you could inadvertently, I guess, get on and end up going the wrong way. But most of this are drunk and drugged drivers, right?
That's correct. If you look at what happened at Sky Harbor, this driver actually went through 2 parking garage gates. So he narrowly missed hitting a pedestrian also.
That's right.
And by the time he got to the freeway ramp, he was on the system less than a minute before that collision occurred. We didn't even have time to activate our DMS, dynamic message boards, to let other drivers know. That's how quickly some of these can occur.
Is this a new thing, or has this been going on? We're just learning more about it. The numbers have increased because of population growth. What's at play?
So I think that's a very good observation. When I talk to DPS officers who have been serving for a long time, they will tell me that wrong-way drivers are nothing new. In fact, on ride-alongs, they'll often say, I bet you will see a wrong-way driver tonight. And some of my staff have said, sure enough, on ride-alongs, we've encountered them in the past. So I think there's a couple of factors happening here. One, as you mentioned, John, we've got population growth. We've got more freeway system here in the valley than we did in 1990. And we've got almost 500 ramps that feed into that system, both on and off. I think all those factors coupled together with this impairment issue are why we're seeing this.
Can you design a system that will not allow this to happen, or is it almost impossible?
Well, I would say that ADOT's resources, like any business out there, like any household, our resources are finite. And our system is built to accepted engineering standards. It's a safe system. But when you're talking about folks, and almost 70% of these wrong-way drivers are impaired in Arizona, some of them severely impaired. When you're talking about folks with severe impairment, whether it's alcohol, drugs, combination of both, I'm not sure that you can put up enough signs and lights. We've had instances where wrong-way drivers on the freeway have been heading in that direction, and DPS cars with lights and flashing are flashing there to stop them, and they drive around the DPS cars and keep going. So it's a very difficult problem when someone is that impaired to ensure they don't get on the system.
A couple of things that I get asked on Facebook all the time. People say, can't you put up those grates like you have in a parking garage that will blow out the tires of a driver going the wrong way? The big reason I hear is that you need access, ingress, egress for emergency vehicles that sometimes go on the on-ramp or the off-ramp, going the opposite way because you need to get a fire truck in or an ambulance. Is that the answer?
So spikes have been presented to us for probably 3 years now by folks who are saying, here's an alternative. The difference is this: in a parking garage, you're going low speed because remember, you're driving over that hump, over those spikes. I can't really put something on an on-ramp or an off-ramp at that speed because at the speed cars are going, there's going to be possibly a jettison effect.
What about ones that are flush with the ground?
If they are flush, then the other problems we run into is that we have hundreds of thousands of vehicles using the system per day as opposed to a parking garage. And I've got all sorts of vehicles, everything from smart cars all the way to 18-wheelers and dump trucks. There are no spike systems that we've been able to find in the country that are built for that sort of use to that durability.
So you looked at it?
Oh, we've looked at every state in the nation as to what their practices are for wrong way. My state engineer just came back from Texas Transportation Institute. They're doing everything we're doing, but we're doing more than Texas is, even with the infrared system. The spikes also present a maintenance problem in that if they are recessed, you tend to get dirt and other debris in there, and those have to go down afterwards, because if they don't, someone's tires. So they have to work every time, hundreds of thousands of times a day as cars are going over them, and be durable enough to do it. The other problem we run into with wrong-way drivers is this: they don't always stay on the ramps. Some of them actually leave those ramps and drive onto the gravel in the right-of-way and get onto the system.
Wow.
So it's not a foolproof deterrent.
Right.
But I would say this: the governor has been very adamant and involved in this, and he's challenged the agency to investigate and do more research on barrier systems. And that's in fact what we are doing at this point.
Okay. So you mentioned Texas. We know there's a problem in Florida.
Right.
Question 2 is it any worse here than anywhere else?
You know, I don't have the statistics, but I do know from my counterparts that Texas is struggling with this issue. Florida is struggling with this issue. Some of the upper Midwestern states I've gotten reports from. So I think that all these states are working with this particular problem, but even though they may have pieces of the systems that we're proposing, none of the states are moving into the infrared camera issue.
We've got this video up. Hold that video, if you will, tape number 3, because I want to show this again. We've put up these bigger signs, wrong way signs.
Right.
I don't even know now how many there are out there.
Hundreds.
I kind of accept them now as normal.
Right.
At first they look massive. Now to me they look normal. Is there any evidence that any of this stuff is stopping wrong-way drivers?
Well, it's hard to prove, because I'd be proving something that didn't happen. And what we do know is that the signs do help drivers that are sober. If they see those signs and realize they're going the wrong way, they self-correct. So we do have citizens who, from other states, other reasons, have gotten onto the ramp going the wrong way. Perhaps they were distracted, talking on a cell phone or texting, and see the signs and self-correct. So that's why you have them at the beginning of the ramps and down farther. I was on a sign crew one day and went out and put some of those up with our crews. And you are right, the old signs, I could pick up and carry around. These are of such a size, it takes 2 people.
But if you're twice, 3 times the legal limit, I'm not sure the signs or the red reflectors going the wrong way on the freeway are going to deter you.
That's why the detection is important. When we look at traffic safety, for us it's a 4-legged stool. There's education. We try to teach new drivers, don't drive impaired, pay attention to your surroundings, be alert, no texting, no phone calls. The other piece is engineering. You asked me, is there a way we can build the system so this doesn't happen? Unfortunately, again, with limited resources, you cannot make the system foolproof in that sense for impaired drivers. And the third piece is enforcement. So we've got education with Governor's Office of Highway Safety. We do the engineering, DPS the enforcement, but the last leg of that 4-legged stool is everybody. We've got a social behavioral issue going on here, in that people, over 2/3 of them, are driving severely impaired. They didn't just pop onto the system. They came from somewhere, and for whatever reason, local law enforcement didn't get them before they got to the freeway. And we now detect them and have to get enforcement there as quickly as we can.
Let me throw up, well, it's tape number 6. I want to show you, and then I'll show you the graphic that maybe you can explain it, because it's pretty intense. But this thermal imaging system that you guys, the governor has been telling ADOT to expedite the plan. Once operational, $3.7 million pilot program. Will use thermal cameras to detect drivers going the wrong way. It will immediately contact DPS and ADOT so that you can intercept the driver, but you can also put up on the signs that there's a wrong way driver out there. You've been doing this anyway, because some guys in our newsroom had an encounter the other day where they're driving along and all of a sudden the sign says, wrong way driver headed your way.
Right. So the thermal imaging gives us now, coupled with our engineers, redirecting the freeway loops. We have loops in the concrete about every mile. With the thermal imaging cameras, the cameras we have out there, plus the loop detection system, we will immediately, it will automatically trigger DPS and our traffic operations center, which it doesn't do right now. Right now we get 911 calls coming in, and then we have to determine what's happening. This will immediately tell us where the incursion is and what direction the vehicle's heading, so that our DPS officer who's in our traffic operations center can direct those troopers where they need to get to.
Who's using it, John? What states are using this, or is anybody using it?
So as I said, Texas, I know in Florida, they're using some parts of this detection. Some are using radar, some are using LiDAR. The thermal imaging system's being used nowhere else. This is the first of its kind in the country.
So we get knocked for being late to the game on a lot of stuff. We're actually early. We're on the cutting edge.
We are actually early and on the cutting edge. A lot of the states are watching us to see how our system's going to perform.
Okay.
Because that loop detection, direction, and speed are critical pieces.
Okay, we may have to, do you mind standing up for a second? Because I want to get out of the way of this. This is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do. Can you step back?
Sure.
Show me over here how this will work.
So you've got a wrong way driver that's coming onto the system. You've got, you know, detection here, and then you've got detection here. So the thermal camera is going to detect this vehicle entering the on-ramp, and it's going to activate this illuminated sign that you see here that's going the wrong way.
For the driver who's doing this, you'll see it.
Yes.
So that will be a beacon.
Right, because this is another suggestion we've gotten, is that you need to light up these signs and perhaps do a strobe light or something. So we've seen this in use in other places, so we're going to use that.
We can sit back down because we got it up full right now. But
so you're going to see the incursion. If the driver self-corrects before they get here, then we won't light up the boards. But if the driver goes to the second camera and gets on the freeway, that's when the boards are going to light up, and that's when DPS is going to be notified.
Okay.
So we don't want to have a lot of false alarms out there if the driver self-corrects. That's why we've got 2 cameras to detect
What do you do, because we talked about emergency vehicles,
Right.
use, you know, they'll enter on the off-ramp to get onto an accident scene because there's no other way to get close. What do you do in those cases? Can you shut it down? Can they?
It will be able to discern those vehicles if they have to do that. So we'll be able, through our TOC, to know that these are emergency vehicles that are entering onto the wrong way, which, by the way, is another reason when we talk about spikes that I get concerned, because if we stop a vehicle that's going the wrong way on an on-ramp, I've got oncoming traffic coming towards that vehicle that's now stuck there, which is another safety issue.
Yeah, so that's not foolproof. It's not like it stops them dead in their tracks right after the
imagine
spike.
yourself taking an exit, and if you're doing the speed limit, which a lot of people exceed, as you know, you might be hitting that ramp at 60 or 70 miles an hour, and, you know, 1,000 feet away from you is this vehicle dead right there.
We talked about impairment, and this is a very touchy subject, but I'm going to ask you about it. There's still talk about lowering the drinking blood alcohol, BAC, from even 08. I even feel, and some will really be upset about this, I think 08 starts to push you into the world where people going out for dinner, very reasonable, rational people, not abusive drinkers, get ensnared in this thing. Do you think we should have it lower? Or do you think we're just about right?
I don't think anyone should drink and drive. Whether that's one drink or two
I mean, people going
dinner.
out to dinner and having some wine. I mean, this.
But in my case particularly, if I'm going out to dinner, I'm not drinking.
Or it's Uber.
It's Uber. But the problem you get into is once people start drinking, many of them are responsible, but others, judgment begins to go, and soon if 2 turn into 4, turn into 6, then you've got a real issue out there.
I guess my point is, in the wrong way driver, we're not seeing 08 or 1. We're seeing 2.5, 2.7, 3. I mean, these people are out of their minds.
You're not talking about a casual drinker having a glass of wine. You're talking about a long-term drinker who's built up a tolerance and can still appear to be functional at that level, but it's sort of like the lights are on but no one's home. And they don't even realize that I'm going the wrong way. Vehicles are coming toward me. Things are lit up. I'm just keeping, you know, I'm in a different zone. I'm not part of this world anymore, it seems.
Right. Is this priority one right now?
So this right now, and I have to say that yes, it is a priority. However, I want to couch that in the fact that next year, our numbers are showing us 1,000 people are going to die on Arizona's roads. We had over 900 this year. We are not trending down, we're trending up.
Why is that?
I have to go back to driver behavior. People are not making good decisions. And these are not just folks in the metro area, this is all across the state on all our roadways. And the decisions people are making out there are putting them in jeopardy.
Decisions before they get in the car talking about impairment, or decisions just behind the wheel?
Both. You know, let's face it, when you look at what's happening out there, we all drive on the system. I don't have some special system that I drive on. I have to drive on the system every day.
Do you like the system that is out there?
I think we have a great system in the Valley if people will obey the rules.
When we're going to take a break. John Halikowski is the director of ADOT. He doesn't do a lot of this, so I appreciate you coming on the program.
Sure,
it's great to hear from you because there's a lot of issues out there. When we come back, you talked about driving on the system. If there were one thing you could improve or change, if you could wave the magic wand, or maybe it's already in your plan, what would it be when we come back on Newsmaker Sunday? Back on Newsmaker Sunday with ADOT Director John Halikowski. Before we move on from wrong-way drivers, you're working on an app that would alert people with a tone on their phone that a driver is headed their way.
We're working on a lot of ideas. This one we've been talking about probably for 6 months or so. But essentially what we're looking at is a way that we can geofence, that is automate or geofence the area that a wrong-way driver is in once we get an alert on the system. And if the public wants to, we're hoping to make an app available they can download to their phone. And if the wrong-way driver is spotted within their area, they will get an audible tone, much like a weather alert, although it won't be that, or a dust storm. But it will be an audible tone, which we will, you know, work with them and your group to publicize that there's a wrong-way driver in your area. You want to be alert or perhaps pull over.
Let's go to, boy, where was it? I'm losing my place here. I wanted to show I-17. There it is. Tape number 7. This is one of the real trouble spots in Arizona right now. People getting out of town, heading to Flagstaff, Sedona. We get this scene a lot. What is going to happen eventually with I-17? Is it only expanding it to 3 lanes each way that will solve this?
I would say that the lane expansion will relieve the congestion after something happens if we don't tie up all 3. But unless driver behavior changes from Setsun Point to Phoenix, we're not going to see this change unless drivers slow down and realize that they are in an area that is hazardous if you're not following the speed limits.
There is a plan for I-17.
Oh, absolutely there is. It's one of the priorities that we have.
It is?
Yes.
So we're not imagining that this is a trouble spot?
Oh, no. This is a trouble spot that we've been well aware of for some time, but as you can see by the geometry of the land and you know, the landscape there, it's a very expensive proposition to build into. And so,
is right-of-way a problem there or no?
No, we can acquire the right-of-way to do it. As a matter of fact, we've got $175 million in the 5-year plan currently. $50 million came from MAG, and we're going to do some kind of lane augmentation between Anthem and Black Canyon City.
Because that's a busy corridor now.
It is a busy corridor.
Okay, this is another common question. Often the freeway just gets finished, whatever one it is. I'm thinking of the Loop 101, 51, just gets finished, starts getting busy. All of a sudden we're doing construction and adding a lane. People are like, why didn't they add the lane when it was built? But that cost dough that wasn't in the original plan, right?
You've got it, John. I mean, I can't explain it any better, is that we build what we can afford at the time, and we do a 25-year outlook. But it wouldn't make sense to spend taxpayer money to build the ultimate until it actually is needed. And so what we do is build what's needed, and then we add lanes as money becomes available and the need becomes there in the future.
But the disruption would be so much less to do it right from the get-go.
It would be less, but you've got a huge investment to make, which means you can't do other projects. Because remember,
so you'd rather get the artery built, even if it's not the perfect artery.
Well, it's not the complete artery.
US 60, the flooding on 60 because the pumps got clogged. Did we replace those pumps, or?
So the flooding on 60 wasn't so much
During the monsoon.
during the monsoon from a pump breakdown. As you said, they got clogged up because we get a lot of debris in those, which we talk about spikes. People wonder, well, where do you get debris from? As you can see on the system, it's all over out there, and it starts to clog those pumps, and they can't draw down the water, and they shut off. There's a number of issues with our pumps. First of all, some of those pumps date back to the 1960s, so they're quite old on the system, 50 years plus. They need replacement. It's about a, I don't know, I'd say about a $70 million project to replace them all.
That's money.
And so again, what we're doing is we're doing these pumps a few at a time.
Right.
But here's the thing, it's not just the pumps, it's the telemetry. Because when the pumps shut off right now, because some of the warding systems are so old, we don't often know. And so what we've had to do is go old school, and I've got crews out there roaming around during the monsoon.
Or you see it on Fox 10.
I hope not to ever see that again.
Okay, let me ask you about, we're in the dust storm season.
Yes.
Let's take a look at tape number 4. And you've had this issue down south.
Yes. Well, we've had it down south and near New Mexico, but you know, there is a monsoon dust storm right there.
Okay, what do you do about farmland that is, you know, around the area of a freeway, and this stuff
Right.
happens? And how do you mitigate this?
We can communicate with the farmer, but the only thing I operate and control is the right-of-way, i.e. the interstate or the freeway, and about 200 feet beyond that line. But farmland is private property, and I don't have any right to tell people what they can or can't do.
But you
with
did put
private
down
property.
this crazy stuff called gorilla snot on that one guy's land,
In
right?
that area we did, but we had to work
hold it
that
down.
out. We had to work that out with the property
Did it
owner.
work? It worked.
It worked great until the landowner decided he was going to plow some of that up to plant some more trees.
So we can expect this might happen again.
We have seen some recurrences down along the New Mexico border.
Okay, one more thing before we
Sure.
take a quick break. Tape number 9, driving in rain, driving in dust storms. Do you want to do a quick primer for people out there what you're supposed to do?
So when you hear the dust storm alert or you see the dust storm or heavy rains, if you can get off before you get to that area, that's the best thing, is to pull off and wait it out, you know, perhaps at a restaurant or something. But if you find yourself caught into that with a dust storm, then we have the Pull Alive or Pull Aside, Stay Alive campaign.
So you pull over.
Right.
This is the part that's really important.
Right.
Pull over to the shoulder.
Right.
Take your foot off the brake,
Yes,
put it
sir.
in park,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and turn
Right.
your lights off.
Right.
Because you don't want another car following behind you thinking you're in the road
That you're
at
moving.
zero visibility
Right.
and
Right.
plow into the back of you.
Exactly. So that's why
it?
Pull Aside, Stay Alive is so important. The other things we're working on is that we want to lay fiber along I-10 between Phoenix and Tucson, because right now we're doing a lot of the dust detection wirelessly. And part of the problem in working with the Weather Service is that they can detect high-level stuff coming in, but one of the bad ones we had was a dust rill under 2,000 feet. And so the more cameras we can put out but hook up the fiber, quicker we
That'll
can
work. We're back. Final thoughts with John Halikowski, Director of ADOT. I'll get your wish list when we
Okay.
come back. Final moments with John Halikowski, who is the Director of ADOT. Let's roll tape 10. This is the South Mountain Freeway.
Sure.
This thing is moving along, humming along.
Yes, it certainly is.
How soon, this is animation, how soon
Right.
will this be done?
Probably about end of 2019, 2020.
Is this a big reliever of congestion?
We believe it will be, because right now when you look at 10 coming into Phoenix, that is the main route into Phoenix. And so this is going to be able to relieve a lot of that traffic that's traveling east-west.
We talked about wish lists, 30 seconds. What are the priorities going forward?
We need to fix I-10 on the Gila River Indian Reservation between Phoenix and Tucson. We need to fix I-17.
Fix it, widen it?
We
Fix
need
it.
to widen it and make it 3 lanes in each direction.
Okay.
We also need to widen I-17 all the way to Sunset Point. Our plan right now will take us to Anthem, but in the future, we need about $500 million to get to Sunset Point.
Director John Halikowski, thank you.
Well,
Great
thank
to
you,
see
John.
you. Great to have you on the program
Thank
from
you.
ADOT, and we will see you next week on Newsmaker Sunday. Be safe out there.